Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, Lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth or development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind on the sun and rise.
Yeah, check it, listen, coming through for your bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimal of mathematical root radicals. So receive this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate, keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Set these lies.
Uh-oh, there's Supreme Go, Wellness and Divine Elevation, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back to another Supreme Natural Intelligence, Fire of Truth Blazing broadcast, brought to you by your brother, your solar sovereign son, the Radiant One, Natural Nathan. Alright everybody, we're about to light it up, and we're about to blaze up the atmosphere with purity and sanctity. Light it up! So I warmly invite you to listen closely like a razor-sharp Japanese samurai sword, because you're about to get that true knowledge, that true wisdom, that true inner standing, understanding, equal standing, overstanding, and outer standing once again, because as always and as usual, you know we're about to hit that colossal, juggernaut monstrosity, grand slammer home run, bringing all this knowledge and wisdom all the way that is a fire of truth. Anyways, my brothers and sisters, let's get right to the matter at hand as it pertains to the knowledge and wisdom. So today's teaching and lesson is we're going to be talking about mastering the art of self-discipline, self-control, razor-sharp focus and concentration. Discipline is a principal thing in life that we all must master. Because when we observe, analyze, and review people across the world, there aren't many people who have the skill, who have the ability of self-control and self-discipline. When we get to the root and essence, as we discuss discipline, mastering the art of discipline requires mastering your emotions. Mastering the art of discipline requires the ability and self-control in mastering your emotions. Hey Nathan, break it down. What is emotions? Energy in motion. That is what emotions is. So when we talk about controlling your energy, we are talking about this at a in all directions. It's not just one thing. It's not just about controlling your temperament. It goes across the globe, around the cipher of life. When we talk about mastering discipline, it's about mastering your emotions, your temperament, your attitude, controlling when to speak and when not to speak, knowing when to listen Because a disciplined person knows we have 2 ears for a reason. So we should be listening double the amount of time more than we should be talking and speaking our speech. We should be listening double the amount of time than talking. We only have one mouth for a reason. So a disciplined person, when we go into this, and the essence of it, it's about self-control in all aspects in life, within the cipher of your life. When you break down the term life, I created an acronym for life. What is life? Light, information / intelligence, frequency, energy. Light, information, frequency, energy. When we talk about live blaze, light, information, vibration, energy. This all has to do with mastering energy, mastering the control of your emotions, your energy and motion. We know that everything in life, at its essence, at its seed and its root, is energy. Different spectrums of energy. And those different spectrums of energy deal with many different types of control in life. When it comes to self-governing, self-control, manipulating energy, controlling your temperament, knowing when to talk, and knowing when to listen. A wise man knows to keep his mouth closed most of the time. So let us get into it. How do we develop self-control, self-discipline? How do we control and develop discipline? The answer is very simple, my brothers and sisters. It's all about focus and concentration. We know when we analyze the world and observe people, especially in this modern age of social media, where there's all these different forms of entertainment around, constantly taking our attention. Attention is the currency, right? Attention is the ultimate currency that everybody wants to grab your energy from, right? They want to take your energy by grabbing your attention. So you have to be aware of where your attention is focused. The purpose of mastering yourself when it comes to control and discipline is knowing how to control your energy. A truly wise, disciplined person knows that focus and concentration is the supreme currency to animating and manifesting. A truly wise and disciplined person knows that focus and concentration is the animation of manifestation. I always talk about growth and development, brothers and sisters, because that is the essence of life. So let us get back to it. The key, the master key to controlling yourself and disciplining yourself in all aspects in life is all about controlling your focus and concentration. And as I mentioned before, focus and concentration is the animation of manifestation.
What? Slow motion this side.
So when it comes to discipline, my brothers and sisters, to control your energy and motion, it's about controlling your breath. It's all about breath work. To have self-control and discipline, it's all about getting to the essence of it, which is breath work. The reason why I say breath work is simple. When you get angry at something, what happens to your breath? You get uptight. You start breathing heavy. You start want to go in on somebody. It's all about breath control. When you're nervous or you have anxiety, what happens to your breath? It starts to get tight. You start to feel restrained and restricted, not knowing what to do. So in order to master your energy, because all these different temperaments that emanates from you through your emotions, the control base, the center of control, is based on your breath. The strongest point on your body in which you'll have the best control over yourself is the center. It's called the center of control. The center of control is the balancing factor within your lower self and your higher self when it comes to your physical abilities and even your temperament and emotions. That's why when you go into martial arts, it's always about self-control and self-discipline. They always talk about controlling your mind, controlling your focus and concentration with your breath work, by being in alignment and in tune, in proactive balance, always embracing peace, harmony, tranquility, and homeostasis, which is proactive balance, or Ma'at, or Libra, when we go into the spiritual systems of Kemet and astrology. The balancing principles. So a disciplined person is about operating in a state of balance proactively. We know that life is in constant motion. Energy is in constant motion. No matter if it appears still, even if something appears still and not moving, energy is always moving. Energy is always in motion. It's just moving at different speeds and frequencies. Remember what I said. What is life? Life is light. Light is composed of a spectrum, different color spectrums and frequencies, and information and intelligence. Each frequency is composed of different information, different levels of information and intelligence. The frequency is how often something moves within a specific time span. So the key to mastering discipline is frequency, consistency, your tenacity. You have to be a master at controlling your energy. You have to control what energy comes within you, and you have to control the type of energy that you release. It's all about energy control. Operating from your center of control, which is your diaphragm area. You want to be breathing from your stomach area rather than up here, because the strongest point is the center of control. When you look at a cycle, the center point within this cycle is the strongest point, because the vantage area is where you could see everything going on. When you're in the middle, you could see everything clearly in all directions, and you could make adjustments easily because you're able to access all angles in the cipher of life. That's why all these spiritual texts and religious texts always talk about operating in balance, controlling your emotions. Because the one who has mastery over their emotions controls their domain. They control the domain. The one who has no control over their emotions, who lacks discipline, tends to burn themselves. They tend to cut themselves. It's a double-edged sword. We know when we look into the scriptures to get the full picture Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time, place, and season for all things under the heavens. Keep that in mind. Listen to reason. And listen to knowledge and wisdom. And in order for you to be in alignment and in tune with the changing seasons of life, which is always constantly moving and changing, as we said, energy is always in motion. It is always transforming, transmuting, and changing through different seasons of life. A disciplined person is adaptable. Life is composed of many different seasons because life is always changing. That's why I always say life is all about growth and development. If that thing that you are watching or you're participating in isn't conducive to your growth and development and to elevating yourself, why waste your time? Time is a limited resource. It's probably the most valuable resource, and it's a very limited resource. So you want to make sure you spend your time wisely, my brothers and sisters. Spend your time wisely and only observe, analyze, and watch those people who are bringing value to your life, who are guiding you to make you a better version of yourself. Why waste your time on watching entertainment most of your life? I know sometimes everybody wants to let loose and whine and just relax and just watch something. But at the end of the day, we don't have time to waste. You wanna devote very little time to entertainment. Because if that entertainment isn't providing you with solutions and remedies to help you to become a better person, what good is that entertainment? That entertainment factor is only there, I guess, to help you to relax or to make you laugh and to sometimes spark you in intelligent thought. When we're talking about edutainment, entertainment and education combined, that's what you should be watching. Edutainment. Entertainment is a distraction. Like I said, we got to break down these words. Entertainment, when we break it down, taint, which is short for mentality or your mind. So what am I saying here? Entertainment. Taint is entering your mentality. This is the distraction that the hidden hand, the shadow powers, and the shadow government use against the masses on a daily basis to take away their energy and power, their currency. The current in the sea, current is energy. C is the circuit board in which energy flows. It represents the waters. The waters represent that knowledge and wisdom, and that flow, that current is the flow of that. If they're able to grab your attention, they are siphoning your energy away from you. Therefore, they're taking you off your purpose, your mission, and your intention of growth and development. The shadow powers, the hidden hand, and the shadow government want you to be building their life for their growth and development so they could maintain control and power over you. Because distractions extract power from you by siphoning your attention. Attention is the currency, right? So you want to be able to reverse that psychological program and use focus and concentration on self. Focus on your mission, your purpose in life. Find out what your mission and purpose in life and do that. Focus on growth and development, because that is the essence of life. That is the purpose of life. Growth and development. That is an objective fact, a supreme fact. When we look at almighty nature, everything in nature is about growth and development. That's all you see. You got carnivores in nature that are controlling the growth and development of all life within nature, almighty nature. They're getting rid of the weak. They're getting rid of the slow. That's why nature is always evolving and revolving, because life is about growth and development. But in human society, the social city of people, humans tend to protect the weak, protect the sick. Almighty nature gets rid of the weak and the sick. Let that marinate. Be seasoned and spiced in that fire of truth. It's a harsh truth. The reality is, if you come to this existence weak, slow and frail, and you're not doing nothing about it to improve, life is going to remove you when we're operating in a natural environment. But this matrix system protects the weak, the slow. The problem here, my brothers and sisters, is that there's no shame in being weak. There's no shame in being slow. There's no shame in being unintelligent or misinformed or ignorant. That's not the shame. The shame is remaining weak, slow, ignorant. That's the shame. Because you are not following, you're not in line with nature. You're not in line with God's plan, the Most High's plan. The Most High's plan is, He set a master plan in nature, which is rooted in the essence and principle of growth and development. Life is always progressively and perpetually supposed to be getting better every day in every way. Our purpose here, generally speaking, across the board, is for everybody to become a better version. Each generation should be getting better and better, because that is being in line with the master plan of almighty nature. It's about evolution. Distractions take you away from your purpose by splitting and spreading your energy thin, making you tired, making you not want to do nothing, making you lazy. And that is that's an opposition of almighty nature's master plan of growth and development. Because when you're in a state of being tired and lazy, how are you going to grow and develop? That's the master question. So some people may ask, hey Nathan, how do I find my purpose and mission? I know you're saying that life in general is for growth and development, so I should be getting better and better every day, generally. I know that, but I'm kind of confused and lost. What is my purpose and mission? Brothers and sisters, this is where you need to get back to nature. Literally. You need to get into a forest, get to a jungle. You need to learn to be alone. You need to meditate alone. Get away from the crowd, the masses. The masses are keeping you distracted. The masses are keeping you distracted and keeping your mental thoughts in disorder and chaos. The key is peace, harmony, and tranquility, homeostasis, proactive balance. How are you going to get in proactive balance if there's chaos all around you? You got all this mental chatter of all the crowd and masses talking about nonsense. Distracted, energy drained out thin, running the rat race. How are you going to know yourself? You can't know yourself until you get yourself alone and spend time alone. Alone is the master key to developing discipline. Most people can't stand being alone. They need companionship. They don't want to face themselves. They don't want to face their demons, their debilitations and weaknesses alone. But the reality is, the fire of truth is, you must face yourself. You must face the mirror, brothers and sisters. Because if you want to have mastery over your discipline and self-control to develop razor-sharp focus, you have to be alone. Because that is the spark and ignition to learning how to focus in a peaceful, harmonious environment of nature. Peace, harmony, and tranquility. You need to get yourself in that environment first. Get out of the crowd, get away from the masses, get away from the chaos. Because all the thoughts of the collective consciousness of the masses is distracting you from your main focus, purpose, intention, and mission that you have within your soul. You got to take time to meditate in silence and just listen to the natural environment around you and focus on the knowledge and wisdom as you're connected to the 4 elements of electrified vitality: earth, wind, fire, water, and the hidden element, ether, the 5th element, ether, which is a spirit energy. So you must be raw, naked in nature as you're operating alone to figure things out alone. Once again, let us break down the term alone. When you're operating alone, let's slow it down and break down the syllables. Alone. All one. All one. So the purpose of being alone is learning how to be one within yourself in synchronicity, unison, and synergy. You're learning to make yourself whole. You're learning to make yourself complete and whole within your center of control, which is the balance, the proactive balance, when you're animated and moving in life. Because you're constantly moving, you're constantly animated, so you have to maintain constant balance to maintain control. Because like I said, the center of control is the one who controls their domain. Wisdom, when we break it down, is the wizard's domain. Wizard's domain, or the wise domain. So it's about controlling your domain. Knowledge is about knowing. Know ledge. Know the ledge. Know the spectrum. Use the knowledge to navigate yourself away from the ledge in which the abyss is. The abyss past the ledge is the abyss that leads to ignorance. That leads to your folly. Ignorance, ignoring the ants. That's how I break it down. Ignoring the ants. That's the ignorance. The reason why I say ignoring the ants, think of the insect, ants. How do ants move? They move in harmony, peace, synchronicity, unison, simultaneously. They move as one, as a unit. They move as one. Alone. So when we go back to the principle of learning how to be alone to master self-discipline and control, being alone is learning how to be one within yourself. Be complete and whole within yourself. We have many different ants that we're composed of. That's just a metaphor, meaning that we are composed of many different civilizations of microorganisms on our bodies and inside our bodies. Our genetic material is composed of trillions of cells. trillions of cells. And there are different kinds of cell expressions. So when we're talking about being alone, it's about learning how to work with all the different microorganisms that live on and within you, which is tens of trillions, while your personal genetic material cell expression is trillions. So you have many different alien life forms live on you and within you. You must bring harmony, you must bring peace and tranquility to your whole system. So you operate at the highest level of health, wellness, and electrified vitality, longevity, and resiliency. Listen to reason and listen to what knowledge and wisdom.
What? Slow motion this side.
Go in. You have the Israelite eye. It's a beast in this mouth.
So my brothers and sisters, you have been given a lot of information so far, thoroughly breaking down. So let's get back to the root of discipline. How do you develop discipline, self-control? How do you develop razor-sharp focus? Meditation. What is the purpose of meditation? Meditation is learning how to focus on one task at a time. We know that the world of masses of people are always on their phone, distracted, going from news article to news article, video to video, TikTok to TikTok, YouTube to YouTube, Facebook post to Facebook post, it's IG post, back and forth, 2 to 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, all over the place, feeding. Yet all that information that they're feeding is actually destroying their inner foundation, their inner essence. Because majority of the things that they're watching is not educational. When we break down the term education and get to the etymology of education, education means to bring the best out of you. To bring the best out of you. So all that feeding that they're metaphorically doing as they're consuming content, whether it's posts of text posts of news or video posts, is that content bringing growth and development to you? That's the master question. And most of the time it isn't. It's full of foulness and trash that most of the time people watch it. It's things, entertainments that are operating in the 7 deadly sins. And that is the demons that distract you and to drain your energy. You gotta master the 7 deadly sins. You gotta master the 7 deadly sins. Sloth, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. Sloth, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. Right? And you gotta operate within the living principles of righteousness, which is what? Truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, reciprocity, propriety. Those are the principles you want to be moving in. That is a moral foundation you must embrace holistically. It's about making yourself whole and complete. Harmonizing and bringing balance to yourself with the living principles of righteousness, the 7 primal principles. Overcoming your 7 primary demons also called AKA, also known as the 7 deadly sins. You must master those things. The masses are asses because they are stuck dominated by their 7 deadly sins. That's why they stay in the lowly position that they're in. If you can't overcome your 7 deadly sins, you will not be able to rise and become better. You got to learn to overcome your 7 deadly sins. Because those are the weaknesses, debilitations, and demons that hold you down and to stop you from your growth and development. Entertainment is taint that enters your mentality. It's filth that enters your mentality. Remember, mind over matters makes you the master. We talked about wisdom. Wisdom is about controlling your domain, being the wizard of your domain, the alchemist of your domain. Listen to reason and listen to knowledge and wisdom.
So why would he change his mind?
Oh my God. Hold up. Give me that again.
It's about controlling your domain, using knowledge and wisdom. Having structure and order is the master key to controlling your environment. A free spirit is not one who controls their environment. A free spirit is one who tends to cut themselves a lot because they have no structure and order. They think they can do anything they want. And no, free spirits are usually the ones who are stuck in the 7 deadly sins. They pretend like they're righteous, but they're usually stuck in the 7 deadly sins, thinking they can do anything they want. And no, you need to have discipline. Because discipline is actually what brings you true freedom. And like I said, we're breaking down words again. Freedom means to free your domain. You want to be able to free up your domain. A wizard controls their domain. Having freedom means you got to break out of the chains and make a positive change by breaking out the cage. Freedom is about breaking your chains that hold you down, your limbs, which is the 7 deadly sins, which are keeping you distracted, which is siphoning, draining your energy at all different aspects, spectrums, and angles, and ways, and methods, and strategies and tactics to drain your power away from you. The reason why you cannot manifest your goals and endeavors is because you're distracted. The 7 deadly sins are the major primal demons, debilitations, and weaknesses that prevent you from achieving your goals and your endeavors. You got to learn to overcome them by disciplining yourself, overcoming these 7 primal deadly sins. They're called they're very deadly for a reason, because they take power away from you and they keep you addicted. They keep you in a slave state. If you want to operate in a sovereign, godly state, most high state, you got to operate in the 7 living principles of righteousness: truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, reciprocity, and propriety. Rather than being stuck in the chains of the 7 deadly sins, in a cage, being prevented from making a positive change. You got to break out and start living with the moral principles that bring structure and order and organization to your life. Listen to reason and listen to knowledge and wisdom, my brothers and sisters. Self-discipline is about focusing on one task at a time. That means razor-sharp focus and concentration. Being disciplined means you have to have a masterful ability to filter out things that are not conducive for you and take in things that are conducive for your electrified vitality, longevity, and resiliency, like an evergreen tree surviving and thriving throughout all the seasons. You got to recognize you will become who you're associated with. So you got to clean up your cipher of life. You got to follow, or should I say, you got to be guided by people that have the status that you want, or have the discipline that you want to obtain. Change up your cipher of people within your life, because those people are the very people who keep you stuck in the 7 deadly sins, because you're always operating in the filth and the taint. Because that entertainment is soiling your mentality. It's dirtying up your mentality. It's bringing filth to your mentality, keeping you in the 7 deadly sins of sloth, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. A prideful person will never be able to grow and develop because they think they know it all. And that's the downfall of a prideful person. The fall comes after pride, right? The fall comes after pride. So you got to be careful. Don't think you know it all. Information is supposed to transform you from within inside of you. Let's break it down. Information. In is inside. Form is shaping your sacred geometry. Ation is an action. It's movement. Remember, controlling your energy is about energy in motion. Life is always in motion. Light, information, frequency, energy. Light, information, vibration, energy. Love, blaze. We cooking and barbecuing today, my brothers and sisters. Here are more principles that you must embrace. It's about knowledge of self, self-reflection. You got to overcome your weaknesses, debilitations, and your demons. Control, master your temperament. Become like a lion, master of the domain of the safari. Be like a lion. Come out of the confusion that you're in by operating within the masses. Come out of confusion, and then you want to spiral up and elevate in elevation. Ancient wisdom. There's nothing more ancient than the truth. 3 things that could not long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Supreme natural intelligence is what you should be flexing, my brothers and sisters. Flex in the knowledge and wisdom. You know what time it is. True peace, true power, and true elevation. Pure peace, pure power, and pure elevation. Don't overcomplicate things in life. Always make sure to keep it simple. Learn to adapt. What did Bruce Lee said? Be like water, my friend. Because water can flow, water can crash, water can form any shape throughout all the seasons. Remember, only the strong and the most adaptable survive and thrive throughout all the seasons in life. Life is about growth and development. You know the fire of truth based on how it feels. It's all about authenticity. The wizard's domain. Master your domain. Wizard's domain. Master the elements. Earth, wind, fire, and water. This is what you got to do on a daily basis. Lose the pride. This is what you got to do. Learn. When you learn, you earn, you know, you grow. That's how you must flow in life. And the master key to developing discipline, let's get back on that. When you eat right, you will think right, you will know right. That's how you live right. Get back to the organic intent mainframe of Almighty Nature, which is the collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine derived from the vine of which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and supreme natural intelligence from. You see all these vines? Those are all cables of information. That's why I say that outro. There's always a purpose and a reason for everything I say. There's always a deeper meaning in layers. So you got to grasp, you got to take it in. When I say awaken your mind and get your behind back to the organic, get to that mainframe of a mighty nature, which is the collective consciousness, the original collective consciousness. This artificial internet is the artificial version of the collective consciousness. But we know that it's mixed with lies and deceit. You could get truth on the artificial internet, but it's also full of lies and deceits. So if you want to get to the pure source of knowledge and wisdom and supreme natural intelligence that is unadulterated, that is raw, that's not rooted in deception, you better get back to nature. That's why I always tell you, get back to the organic, get to the mainframe of a mighty nature, which is the collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine, derived from the vine in which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and supreme natural intelligence from. Listen to reason. Rays from the sun. Rays from the sun leads you to the truth. Light and dark leads you to the truth. That is full spectrum. That's what reason is. Rays from the sun. What is a ray? It is a spectrum of light. It's a spectrum of information. When we're dealing with the sun, it's a full cipher. It's a full sphere. 360 degrees of positive knowledge and 360 degrees of counter knowledge or counterintelligence. Progressive intelligence and counterintelligence. 360 positive, 360 negative. Hey Nathan, I thought there was only 33 degrees. There's 360. Light intelligence and dark intelligence. So 720 degrees. Because there's progressive and there's regressive. Creation, destruction. Good, evil. Good knowledge, evil knowledge. There's spectrums to this, brothers and sisters. It's not just 33 degrees. The spinal column is 33 degrees. When we're talking about Jacob's ladder, the ladder of elevation, when it comes to the human body, there's 33 degrees, but we know that growth and development never stops. Even though I said 360 degrees, positive and negative, once we change that angle a slight bit and tilt that angle, there's another 360 positive, 360 negative. Tilt the angle again in a sphere. If you keep tilting the angle along the sphere, it's infinity. It's infinity. Knowledge never ceases. But if you want to really grasp the true magnitude of the levels of existence, it's a cipher, it's a cycle. 360 positive degree and 360 negative degree. So let's get back to discipline. That's for another teaching, another lesson down the road. I don't want to go off topic too far, but it's all encompassing. It all has to do with discipline and self-control. So my brothers and sisters, to bring this to a conclusion, I don't want to make this too long. I want to keep these live places within an hour. I don't want to overwhelm people with too much knowledge. I've already brought a lot forward here. So the main purpose to mastering self-discipline, self-control, is focus and concentration. So you got to learn to be alone. Learn to be alone. Get to know yourself. Alone is learning to be whole and complete within yourself. all one, making all of you, every cell in your body, work as one unit, like the ants do. Because when you work in synchronicity, unison, in synergy, simultaneously, that's when you're at your best. That's when you're able to maximize the access to your supreme natural intelligence. Because what is the mind? The mind is the magnetic field that stores information, intelligence, experiences, data, information. Within your environment. What is the mind? Remember, another acronym I created. The mind is mental / magnetic, because we know that memory is dealing with magnetism. Magnetism holds information. Magnetism holds information. Mental, so mentality, your mentality is dealing with magnetism. Attracting and repelling. That's what you must do. That is the filter that you must do as a disciplined person. A disciplined person is able to attract what's good for him and repel what is bad for him or her. That's magnetism, attracting and repelling. And your mind is based in magnetism. Your mentality. The mind is based in magnetism. So let's get back to the acronym. Mental / magnetic. So mental, magnetic / magnetic. Information, intelligence / intelligence. Information / intelligence, either or. Mind. Mental / magnetic. Information / intelligence. Neural is the brain cells that network information, that perpetuate peer-to-peer information within your brain. It's the cells that communicate and store information and transfer it back and forth along the highway of the neuron pathways. Neuron pathways is the highway of information transmission. Information transmission is your neural pathways. So mental / magnetic, information / intelligence, neural dimension. We are operating in a dimension, brothers and sisters. So magnetic, information, neural dimension. That's the mind. So it's all about creating your dimension, your reality that you want to operate and live in. And you can only do that is through razor sharp focus. Focus on your intentions. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your mission by using the vision of your will power. Your willpower. A will is something that you have a strong purpose and intention to do. It's your mission, your willpower. I will do this. That's a will. It's something that you're going to do and take action in. That's a will. It's a strong pursuit in taking action. That's the will. So in order for you to develop discipline, your will must be so strong on your mission, your purpose and your intention, your goals and endeavors you must focus on in achieving it in any way possible. You do anything possible to achieve those goals and endeavors. That's the will. It's a perpetual force of nature that is rooted in the essence of your intentions and your purpose. And you'll do anything you can to achieve it. And in order for you to achieve something, you must imagine it first. Imagine, image, in action. Image in action. Imagination. Imagination. Image in action. Image in action. Imagination. Image in action. So you want to turn the image into an action. That is an intent, that is a purpose, that is a mission, and that is a vision that you must use your will to animate so it could bring forth manifestation and fruition. Remember, razor sharp focus is the animation of manifestation. Check 1 2 1 2. Am I still being heard? Check 1 2. Something does flash. It looks like the stream got interrupted. One moment. Something does flash. It looks like the stream got interrupted. One moment. Am I still being heard? Anyways, let me bring this to conclusion, brothers and sisters. It's about that time anyways. We're going on an hour. So, my brothers and sisters, the major part when it comes to self-control, self-discipline, is to develop razor-sharp focus. You got to learn to be alone, get away from the distractions, the masses, which are asses, that keep you away from your purpose. That is a drain to your energy, spreading yourself thin. Do your best to avoid multitasking. All you're doing is draining yourself out when you multitask. So focus on your mission, focus on your purpose, and learn to elevate your mind into higher consciousness. So let me conclude. We're gonna go on part 2 if necessary. Awaken your mind and get your behind back to the organic internet mainframe of Almighty Nature, which is the collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine, derived from the vine in which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and supreme natural intelligence from. Listen to reason, and listen to knowledge and wisdom. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your night, my brothers and sisters. Wellness and divine elevation. Peace. Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, Lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth or development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise.
Yeah, check it, listen, coming through, fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So we see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
We just levitate, levitate. Keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Set these spies. Light up the chalice and me tell them to Rastafari ever safe and secure. Hands are fi clean and your heart are fi pure. Alright, it's them fi know. Anything you reap that you sow.